Yo, what's good, everybody? We're back with another episode of Too Much Best Ball. It's Tuesday morning. We're bored. We're putting off work, and it's time to do a best ball draft here. And you know what? I'm sick of having a boring morning, just me talking out my ass, talking by myself. So I had to bring in a guest, had to bring in one of the funniest around. Chuck, what's happening today? How we doing?
Man, you basically stole all my lines. Fuck work. Fuck talking by myself. Just want to have a good time, draft some players. That's what I want to get paid for. That's what I want the business to be.
100%, man. There's all these brilliant minds out there talking all this great football, giving you spreadsheets, doing all this film. And then there's some of us that just want to have fun. Some of us want to laugh more than we're actually spouting numbers. So I think we've got a hell of a morning ahead of us. You ready to get this thing kicked off?
Man, I could not be more ready. We're gonna dunk on the spreadsheet fools today. We're going vibes out. It's gonna be a damn good time. I'm ready to roll.
Sweet. Let's get this party rolling. Sweet. All right, let's go ahead and jump in one of these drafts because it is Tuesday afternoon, and who knows if anybody's actually on jumping in these. Oh, we got 5 left. All right, not too long to wait.
I think there's a little bit of the early bird casuals are starting to come back, and they're starting to get back into the flow. They're seeing training camp highlights. They're seeing players at Michael Rubin's all white party. They're like, oh yeah, football. I think it's time for us to take advantage of them.
Yeah, it was a hell of a lull. There at the very end of June, I was doing these like mid Tuesday drafts. There was nobody. I ended up jumping on a 3-man draft because I couldn't freaking fill a draft. It was pissing me off. But
Oh, I love a good 3-man draft though. It's like bowling with the bumpers up, you know. It's such a like, oh, it's right. This can be really easy and fun sometimes.
hey, I feel like we're shitting on bumpers here, and I'm all here for it. It's the only time I score points. I'm usually drinking a beer. They've got great prices at the
Yeah.
bowling because nobody goes unless you're getting schmammered. So
Yeah, bowling alley beers are the most unaffected item by inflation going back my entire lifetime. It's been tried and true. It also coincides with the most DUIs and fights in the parking lot. But you know what? You take the good with the bad.
100%. Yeah, you can't have fun if you don't risk it a little bit.
Yeah. So what do we want to do here? I know we like to we're going to go in with an open mind, but did you wake up feeling anything today? Is there any particular players that have caught your eye, or where are we at mentally?
Well, if we're being honest, I'm going to try and pull back the testosterone a little bit because I woke up this morning. I was on the clock in my Scott Fishbowl draft.
Oh.
Round 2, I took Bijan in the first, and I came back and took Jahmyr Gibbs in the second just because I got
Ooh.
sniped. I didn't get Anthony Richardson, so I was like, you know what, we're going to go high T, go high running back. So you might have to rein me back a little bit today on the running backs. But
What spot did you pick from?
I went for number 8. I was like, oh, I'll be greedy. I'll
Nice.
go back as far as I can go with hoping I can still get Anthony Richardson, and somebody kicked me in the balls right there at 7.
I was sitting there, I was staring. I was at this Cincinnati live draft this last weekend, and I stood up at the board with the 7th overall pick, and I was like, Lamb or Bijan, Lamb or Bijan, Lamb or Bijan, and I pussed out and I went Lamb. Should have gone Bijan.
Didn't go the way of the wolf, huh?
No, I wanted. I laid down on the grenade for you though, so that you can be the winning team. We didn't want to, because I would have probably gone art running. I probably would have leaned into the bit and taken a running back with the next pick, and we can't be having the identical teams here.
No, we can't do that. No, it was pretty shitty. I had a buddy send me his Scott Fishbowl draft. He's like, hey, look at my first 2 rounds, and he got Bijan in the second. We're both the 8th pick. So I was like, all right, that kicks me in the stones a little bit. But
Man, it's so funny that there can be all this research and all this, intricate scoring and funny formats and all that, and then there's not one draft that's even fucking close to another one. And I think that's probably what we all love about it.
I think that's what. Yeah, you say love, I'd say annoy because there's no preparation for this shit.
Yeah.
This is my second year in the tournament. Last year, I was like locked in, ready to. Oh shit, we are 101.
Oh, okay. So we just talked about the testosterone and the Bijan and the Gibbs, but I mean, do we just want to anchor this bad boy off the rip and make it wide receiver city?
I mean, I'm open. Shit, 101. That's about time. It's about time. I feel like I consistently pick at like 106 to 108 on these live streams. So.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Whenever you have an audience, it's always that 1-7, 1-8, 1-9 every single time I've done one. So this is a new dress for me. So I'll say while being open to anything, I would say CMC, and then we just look at a heavy wide receiver build from there on out.
I love it. I
Mhm.
think it's easy spot to overthink things here, but
Yeah.
CMC, that workload, man, this team's going to be doing great things, and this team that we're drafting today, they're doing
Yeah.
great things here.
Hell yeah.
We're gonna bring it down. What is it? July 9th?
Mhm.
Championship team drafted right there.
That's right. They're gonna mark it down. It's captured on camera. I got my work shirt on. You got the Colts in the background. I mean, we're just all kinds of Midwest stuff happening strong. So
100%.
I'll ask you if it wouldn't have been CMC, and I know there's some obvious candidates, but would you, is it just automatically Lamb for you? Or are you a Tyreek guy? Maybe a little Jamar Chase?
Jamar Chase, I don't think I have taken at the 101 this year, just because I know, I've done enough of these drafts. You'll get
Yeah.
him at that 1-4, 1-5, somewhere in there.
Sure.
I do think I've taken Tyreek once at the 101,
Mhm.
just because I was tired of only getting the 101, not getting that 1-2, 1-3.
Yeah.
So outside of that, though, it's been heavy CMC, heavy Lamb for sure.
Yeah.
What about you?
Nice. I don't know. Everything I do in my life is for content, so it just depends on how badly I'm needing those ad revenue dollars this month. So I'll switch it up a little bit. I probably wouldn't. I don't see myself taking Chase a lot, but or at all really. But I mean, I'm just trying to have an open mind about like, okay, who has that upper range of outcomes. And like after a beer or two, especially a day beer, I could convince myself in the Chase, but probably Tyreek over everybody. That's just, it's just bread and butter right now. He's basically the McCaffrey of the position, and it's just a lot of fun.
100%. Yeah, and the hard part with these teams, though, when you're taking like some of the Niners and some of the Dolphins players, like it sucks because all of the correlating pieces are here in round 1, 2, maybe 3.
Yeah.
So if you don't get that back to back, you're pairing up a game later on in the round. So that's the only frustrating part with me. Same thing with Lamb. Like you've got to pair him with Eagles, and you're not getting AJ Brown in the second.
Yeah, and I will say that this is what makes to me best ball the most emotional of all the drafts, because you just can get stabbed so many different ways as opposed to any other format. And I kind of like that. It does wake me up a little bit and it gets me thinking, but the amount that can go wrong and go wrong quickly is just hilarious for something we're putting money towards.
100%. Right. I start looking at that. I was like, oh yeah, that's there's part of my paycheck going there. But
Yeah.
bye.
You really hate to see it slowly get lit on fire. It's usually not until like a redraft league week 4, my guy goes down and I'm like, well, fuck. But right now your guy doesn't even have to go down for you to see your season.
Right. Hell, at this point, I'm looking at teams that I drafted, 2 months ago, and I'm already looking. I'm like, damn, look at that value I've lost already. Just lit that shit on fire.
Do we see any recognizable names in the league? Do we know any of these people? Any big fish, small fish, medium fish?
I've heard of a few of these players. This isn't part of the draft, though. Where it gets a little blurry for me. God, Drake London's, is he falling a bit? Just a little bit. And that's what I wondered. Like, I'm a big fan of Drake London this year, but I feel like the price is one that's going to get knocked down by casuals as they come back in over the next 4 weeks. We might get a better price point at him.
Yeah, he's him, Chris Olave, all these guys, that kind of people who have been watching and paying close attention that we all kind of expect to perform where their ADP is, they're definitely going to get sunk in a little bit by all the people that are going to come in, and they're going to be like, what the fuck has this guy ever done? Why would I draft him over Devontae Adams, over Devonta Smith, over DK Metcalf? And there is a little truth in that, but it's a small kernel, when in reality, we have the data now. We have the ability to project when these wide receivers are going to take off. I don't know how much Chris Olave you've been taking. He's probably one of my least drafted players, just because I feel like, they bring in Clint Kubiak. They don't really bring in a lot of other competition. Rashid Shaheed is kind of who he is. He's a good player, but he is who he is. So they're going to set this offense up so that they're running all these amazing crisp routes, intermediate, deep down the field, and then Derek Carr is just going to chuck the ball, or he's just going to dump the ball off to Alvin Kamara. Like, nothing's going to change here, and that's my big frustration.
Yeah, that's the hard part about it. I do like that right now in this draft he's fallen a little bit, but same with you. I think I maybe have 1, maybe 2 shares over my
Oh,
Makes
he's
me
there though. Should this be the bite the bullet live on stream kind of thing? I don't know.
And as far as correlating pieces, we've got Detroit, Miami, and the Rams for the Niners. I mean, first time on the street. Maybe we take Olave here. Maybe we star him just
Let's
to see.
pop him in there, and then let's hit a little correlation station.
I was gonna say, as far as correlating, we could. Man. Oh shit! I didn't realize Cooper Kupp went already. I was looking for him because they do play the Rams in Week 15, but that's gone.
Tricky.
Man, I don't want to call it a tilt on round 3 here, but like some of the obvious.
This might be the part. Well, this might be at the part where we decided to just be wild cards then.
So you're saying Jordan Love, 3rd round?
Yeah,
I like DK Metcalf.
Yeah, here. I was gonna say I absolutely love. I'm glad you were looking there. Like I don't love Neighbors. I hate the ADP. Love the player. Yep. I really wish he was about a round less expensive. He has got the 2nd highest ADP of a rookie wide receiver since 2015 Amari Cooper, with obviously Marvin Harrison Jr. being the number 1. So like these guys are shot way the hell up there for rookies.
Yeah, that's my biggest issue. I think I've got 1, maybe 2 shares of Neighbors, and it's purely because I've tried to force it in with whatever correlation build I'm doing right there. But like it hurts me. It hurts me that I don't get to have a lot of them just because, I mean, 3-2, it's early.
I know, and he really has. I mean, can you think of a wide receiver that has less threat to his alpha status than Malik Neighbors does this year? I mean, they don't have a player that would be a wide receiver 4 on most other teams, maybe a couple, but no run game really. Daniel Jones, for whatever lack of ability he might be perceived to have in the passing game. I mean, DJ Moore or Justin Fields, you can say the same thing, and he just put up a wide receiver 6 season for DJ Moore. So I mean, like, there's potential here.
Yeah, I don't doubt we'll have some spike weeks. You know, a week he comes down with a couple of touchdowns, or just hyper targeted, kind of like what we see in Devontae Adams. Incompetency throwing the ball, but he's going to get so much it just happens. But not really somebody I want to tie myself to early in the 3rd round for sure.
No, it's freaky deaky. Maybe if I was running back like the Chuck Bass birthday league again, might be somebody that I target. But I don't like to finish after you finish last. I finished last in my own league, which means I had to fuck off. That wasn't happening again.
Yeah, I was right there in there with you. I was pretty low as well. I shit the bed in the draft.
I don't know what happened in that draft, man. I remember those. They were really fun to do.
That's what it was.
That might have been what it is. Maybe that's what it was. That's where but you know what? That's where the fun is, that's where the fun lies.
Oh yeah. I was coming, we were coming right off rookie season at that point. Dynasty was still hot. So like all of those rookies were being so overdrafted. So if you didn't hit on any of those, I'd just shit the bed. And it was 2 tight end league, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, two tight end, but no like tight end bonuses or anything. So it was just like I drafted like Chigo Okonkwo and Cade Otton, and like I was just like, what am I doing here? Just chasing 11th place all season long.
It's better than last.
Better than last. That's how we go, baby. I've been trying to think of like a name, and you don't have to answer this right now, but like we don't have a name for the sack. You're the Sacco if you lose, but we don't have a name of the Sacco winner, and I think that needs to be its own. There needs to be a name for that, a title, something that was like, hey, I won the Sacco. Because when I hear people say they won the Sacco, I think that they got last place.
Yeah.
So there's a little I think we have an opportunity to maybe come up with some originality, and then we get to take all the credit for it.
Right? Yeah. The people that are cheering that, hey, I'm the best of the losers. Yeah, they need an award. Participation trophies. Look at the generations that have come out lately. We need our participation trophies.
That is, you know what? I mean, people are having these insane gender reveals left and right. I saw a dog gender reveal, which I didn't even know was possible. Like, why can't we have this? Why can't we?
Right? Just, oh my God, a dog gender reveal. I'm still trying to grab my thought of that. Like, what?
That's honestly just an excuse to get drunk and have a party. And if that's the reasoning for it, then I can respect it. And, kudos to them for taking the step.
You're right. It makes me want to shit on him for not being creative, but at the same time, that's pretty creative to find a reason to get drunk. Back in the day,
Yeah.
we just invented stupid games to play and called it Olympics, and that was our excuse to drink. So
That you know what? That's a tried and true tradition. I have much respect for that.
all right, we're coming back up here. Looks like tight ends are shooting off a little bit, except the ones I like. Look at that. Mark Andrews just waiting there.
Mm.
Would we dare to go for that Mark Andrews double stack?
I if it's there, it's an absolute homer. It's my favorite stack of the year.
No, never mind. There goes that idea.
Oh, come on.
They're in the stream with us.
Roller coaster with a K. We got Kaisered by a nobody. Unbelievable.
Looks like the guy next to him had the idea too. Took Lamar right after.
Yeah.
Okay. I do like Anthony Richardson, but I'm okay if we let him sit. Maybe, we going heavy on the wide receiver here?
I think we wide receiver it up, and then we look at quarterback, tight end on the next one, if it's something of satisfying value. But yeah, I still like kind of just power playing the wide receiver position here.
Kirk or Cooper?
Cooper. Yeah, like Cooper there. I don't know how you're feeling about McLaurin. I love McLaurin this year. I'm kind of bearish on Hollywood, bearish on Keenan Allen, bearish on Jaden Reed for different reasons.
Yeah, same. I actually don't mind McLaurin, and they do play New Orleans. Granted, it's not 15 or 16 or 17, but they're playing week 15, so a little minor correlation piece.
Yeah, so I think that'll be pretty hot. I feel pretty good about him. Like usually, wide receivers now have to switch teams to have that AJ Brown, Diggs kind of blow up, but I think it's going to happen on his own team with Jaden Daniels. I feel really good about what's going to be happening there this year.
I love that possibility since we passed on Anthony Richardson. If we don't end up going Kyler, I would love to go for Jaden Daniels here just to tie him with Terry McLaurin. Big fan.
I think that could be very reminiscent of like a 2021 Kyler Murray, DeAndre Hopkins type season. It's not exactly a 1-for-1, but just for like if you're hoping here's what's the roadmap going to be, that's kind of that parallel for me.
And if you do want some 1-for-1 in that, at least it's the guy calling plays because the guy that did that for Kyler, he will be doing that for Jaden Daniels as well.
Exactly, and he's not exactly the kind of tiger that changes its stripes. Now he's gonna. Once he bought that one-way ticket to Thailand, I was like, you know what? This guy just knows who he wants. He knew who he wanted to be when he was 17, and he became that person, and I respect that.
I really was hoping we weren't going to see him for like 3-ish years. He's going to come back with a face tattoo, just completely, just not looking exactly the same. He's got this rare playbook he pulled from, whatever mountain that he was doing his.
Man, now I'm actually pissed off because that would have been way better. He probably just like laid by the pool at the Ritz-Carlton and drank Mai Tais for like a while and then just came home with a full belly. Like that's kind of lame.
Right. Came back way sooner than he said he was going to.
Oh, gosh. So what are we thinking here? Who's going? We just saw Keenan Allen go. Man, Keenan Allen's ADP just continues to amaze me. Travis Etienne, Anthony Richardson, Rashee Rice. Wow.
His is moving up, too. That value is it's going away.
Yeah, we haven't really seen any beat. I've been trying to keep an eye on beat reports like that because the KC wide receiver 1 is going to be, it's going to be a hot commodity this year. Just because, I like Hollywood Brown. I like him as a role player. I just don't think he's capable. He hasn't shown that he's capable of putting together a full, forget a season, like 6 to 8 weeks of consistent wide receiver 1-2 play. And he's played with Lamar Jackson and Kyler Murray. Like, I don't want to hear he hasn't had a good quarterback. Like, I feel very strongly about him. But if Rashee Rice's suspension is painful and Xavier Worthy has a learning curve, like, he could have a ton of value.
100%. Yeah, that's the biggest piece is that the law aspect with Rashee Rice. I had a buddy share something recently saying that, like, his court date's not till December. So do we not even see his suspension until next year? Because the NFL's not dropping the hammer until after his law stuff gets figured out. So if that happens in December, fantasy playoffs are done by that point. So I don't give a shit what happens to him for the NFL playoffs. That's Chiefs fans' problems, not mine.
Yeah, they got bigger fish to fry. We'll be sitting pretty. But it is, even just him as a player is funky. Like, let's just say he wasn't suspended, absolutely not, right? And they still bring in Hollywood Brown. They draft Xavier Worthy. I still look at that ADP and I'm like, damn, that's kind of that's kind of crazy because I don't see him having any chance to finish above any of the guys going in his range with the new additions. With the defense coming back to earth a little bit, I think it's going to raise the floor for everybody else. They lose Snead to the Titans, which I thought was a massive loss. Like he was the best cornerback in the league last year. So just a lot of variables for a guy going where he's going.
Hey, if anything, I hope that defense, they get off the field a little quicker. That offense scores, puts the Chiefs and Patty Mahomes back on the field. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, easy peasy.
All right, coming back here, George Kittle, Evan Ingram. I wouldn't mind grabbing a tight end here.
Yep, I would like to. I think the cliff for tight end is here. So I think, smacking a little 1-2 here. Maybe. Do you think that Jaden Daniels will come back around?
That's what I was just looking at. Like, it's a little bit of a scroll, but it's that's tricky.
But I mean,
so we could just shit.
I'm thinking it's a dice roll today, baby. I'm thinking he comes back around and we get lucky. So maybe we hit a little tight end. And then do you want to punt on running back still? I'm fine with it too if we want to just continue to cement. But
yeah, I don't mind some of the running backs here. This is a great spot to grab them, but. Let's grab George Kittle just for the correlation with CMC. Otherwise, I do still like Evan Ingram. Wide receivers, I think JSN is really the last one that I like in this tier.
Yeah,
everybody else, like
I do like a little McConkey. I get worried a little bit about how much he's going to help our team when you look at the rest of the guys, but I don't know, a little Montgomery, a little Alvin Kamara, a little Aaron Jones. There's some fun stuff going on.
Let's go Monty. I think the touchdowns will be there for the third year in a row.
I think that's a good rock. I think that his statistics with Jahmyr Gibbs are more encouraging than they are discouraging, especially for what I like teams that don't change anything and were very successful the previous year. Like they changed absolutely nothing about their team except for maybe improving the offensive line a hair. So there's not a lot of teams that you can rely on that consistently to just like, okay, bookmark him for another top 5 offensive season. And you know that he's going to be the core of that. So
it looks like you're getting a little love for the Tony Romo poster there.
Yeah. Intrinsic in the house. What's going on? Yeah, that's Tony Romo drinking a Pepsi, baby, rocking it. Tony Romo and I have a love-hate relationship because I hate him as an announcer, but I've actually come to really respect him as a player. So I just don't know where I land, but I keep your enemies close.
So has that changed at all when he was playing? Did you like his announcing and then like you disliked his playing?
Yeah, I've completely flipped. I hated him as a player because I don't know. How could you not hate him unless you're a Cowboys fan? Sports hate,
Well, yeah, for sure.
He was such an
Tom Brady. I hate Tom Brady. Yeah,
completely understandable. Completely understandable. I don't know. He was just such an easy target, and so you don't really have soft targets like that anymore. These guys are so buttoned up, or like they just play it so close to the vest. But then I liked his announcing out of the gate, and then he just got lazy. He got real lazy, and he started saying things that like you would hear if you were at the barbershop, and like that's not what you either have to be really funny or you have to have like real groundbreaking analysis like Greg Olsen would bring to the game. And if you're not doing that, then you're a waste of space for me. I'm putting the game on mute.
Oh God. See, I used to think Chris Collinsworth, big hater of Chris Collinsworth, not a fan of his announcing at all. And I used to think that, you know what, I'd rather this game be muted. Like, just give me no commentary. And there was a Thursday night football game. It was several years ago where, like, the announcing just didn't work. So it was just like you heard the whistles and the sidelines, and that's it. Most boring game I've ever heard in my life. Like, it was so boring. Like, I was begging for Chris to come on this. I'm like, come on, dude, give me something.
Oh, you don't know what you got till it's gone. That's a real thing. He's a funny one because I think I would probably co-sign. I don't know how exciting or even interesting he can be to listen to, even though I do think he has good insights, but it's rarely on the broadcast. I don't know why that is, but his demeanor and like his like aw shucksness, I don't know, it cracks me up. And so I think I enjoy him for the wrong reasons.
And every player is the best player in the world.
Oh,
this guy's the best linebacker of all time, man.
You gotta be kidding me. Oh God. This is unbelievable.
Well, there goes any job prospects at PFF now. Sorry, Chris.
That's a good run. I'm sorry. But I will say him and Al Michaels, I think, made each other better. I like Mike Tirico. I think that he has a nice calming presence, but Al Michaels is the single greatest NFL commentator of all time. And I love every ounce of that man's human being. No vegetables for life, huge gambler. He made a cameo in one of my favorite movies, Basketball, playing like a sex crazed announcer. I just loved him.
Gotta appreciate when they're willing to do that. Like Boomer doing Longest Yard with Adam Sandler and all that. Like
when they show that side of themselves, it always takes the edge off a little bit.
100%. So Kyler went. Quarterback run has not gone. What do we have above us? All right, so this guy's he's gone 7 straight.
Oh, that guy is he's towing the party lines right now. That's hilarious. What a hilarious. Oh man, I respect it.
Then Caljet, and then roller coasters taking Daniels. I can feel it. Mm-hmm. They're gonna ruin it for us.
So we've got a nemesis, is what you're saying? I love a good nemesis.
I think so.
Oh, with Dak and Jordan Love there too. Does he have any stack options? What is he? What are his?
Kenneth Walker, Kamara, Kyron. No, we've got nothing stackable.
Bitch, this guy's got it out for us. He's on the stream. He's stream sniping.
Don't do a roller coaster. So yeah, we've got Jaden Daniels there. I don't mind any of those quarterbacks, honestly.
There we go. The moneymaker. Okay, he went Raheem. Hell yeah.
I think we've got it.
Should we can we count our eggs? Is it count your eggs or count your chickens? Don't count your chickens. We can count these chickens before they hatch. I feel good about it. Nice.
We're counting them, babe. Look at that. Jaden Daniels sitting there. We took the risk and it paid off.
Nice. So what are we looking at next here? Do we want to solidify? What do we got?
So as far as the rest of the team, we've got CMC, David Montgomery, running back, Chris Olave, DK, Cooper, and Terry McLaurin. Got our tight ends, so we're good there.
Mm-hmm. What are the Njoku's sitting there? That's terrible. No. I'll tell you what, if we're thinking wide receiver, I like Dubs. Maybe even if we want to scroll down a little bit and see who else is on there. Don't love Shakir. Don't love Mitchell.
Yeah.
I like these guys. I just don't like them for the build we're going for. I just kind of feel like Dubs is going to be that wide receiver one there.
Yeah, it's pretty ugly. I know we've got Chris Olave, but we're not really building a huge stack with it. Yeah, let's take Dubs. Yeah. I like the Packers to be a top 3, top 5 offense this year with potential to be the number 1 overall offense.
I think they're going to be a problem. You're spot on there. They're going to be, they bring in Josh Jacobs. I don't think that's any indication that there's any shift. I think he's probably just going to be a little bit worse version of Aaron Jones. Still a good player, but they've made their intentions clear that how they want to operate. And I think Dubs is probably the most polished guy that they have. Reed is kind of that all-around player, but as far as just, having that true wide receiver that can kind of, make chunk plays down the field consistently. I mean, his playoff games tell you everything you need to know.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I think that at the end of the day, him and Reed, who went, 3 rounds ahead of him, I think they're going to have pretty close numbers. Reed just hit it really hard in the touchdown department, and that's kind of what set them apart last year.
That was the breakaway. That was good. We get to these kind of situations. A lot of time you want to take, maybe who the cheapest option is. However, I don't feel amazing about Wicks this year, so I kind of do look at Dubs as that cheapest option.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they've got so many. They've got 5 capable receivers, 2, a couple running backs.
It's crazy.
It's hard to be a Packers fan, clearly.
I don't know, man. I don't know. It's so funny that they just, it's like the longest running joke in the NFL. But I think they'll stumble at some point. There's no way this can last.
That's what I thought as a Colts fan, going from Peyton to Andrew Luck. And, I got the footage of watching him retire. It was not pretty.
So where do the Colts fans lie with Andrew Luck nowadays? Now that the dust has settled.
I felt like I was always pretty like you got to do what's best for you. Like
Yeah.
even if you don't retire, you're still not constantly out there. So like
Mm.
I get it. He's a guy. He's got to do his thing. I've never really hated him on it. Hated on him for it. But I think it's starting to clear. Ever since we had what's his name Wentz come to town, he just kind of like cleared all memories because most of us blacked that season.
The palate cleanser. Nice. Oh man, that's going to be a funny season to look back on. That Wentz Colt season where it was like almost kind of had it, but his stats were interesting. It's kind of a fun time to look back on.
I was going to say at the same time, though, had he won that last game in Jacksonville, the clown game, had he won that, the Colts would have gone to the playoffs, and there's no way they would have moved away from Wentz, which would have not set us up for the season to get us, Anthony Richardson up at the top. So, end of the day, we had to have a shit season. So,
yeah.
I'm just glad it's on his stats, not Brissett. Everybody loves that guy,
That's some A+ fandom right there to be able to walk back through how something terrible turned into something good. Like that's what I say about the Buccaneers drafting Roberto Aguayo in the second round, is that's what led us to Tom Brady eventually and the Super Bowl. So, you have to just look at the big picture with these things.
Yeah, it's wild how we justify this shit. It's
We have to, though. We invest so much of our own time and our well-being in this that like we just have to be able to make lemons out of spiked lemonade.
Right, I've tied so much to fantasy football. Like I've given away the next 8 of my children's first name. I don't even have kids, but like the first name rights have been sold out for the next 8, children. It's bad. My wife.
That's quite the losing streak there. To lose 8 names is something else.
It's the first thing I toss out there. I'm pretty sure I'm not having kids. So I'm like, you know what? That's my sweetener in a dynasty trade. Throw it out there.
Oh, nice. Something you don't value, but they might. I see you. I see where you're going with this.
Exactly.
All right, we're coming back around here. So do we want to solidify? What do you think about? It's kind of a crazy one. Solidifying elite quarterback if Dak is there and just kind of 1-2 punching it.
How is Dak still here?
Doesn't make any sense. It's really stark.
It's like wiping before you poop. It just makes no sense at all.
Yeah, but Dak was my my 3rd round pick in the Scott Fish Bowl, and he's sitting here in the God. What are we in right now? The 10th round, basically 11th. Damn.
Yeah, he's ADP at 96. We're gonna get him at 120. Yeah, I've got no problem snagging him.
Oh, nice. That's hilarious. He took Brandon Cooks too. That's funny.
That's actually that's what I was just scrolling for. I was like, actually, Brandon Cooks was
yeah, so Dak looks good. Who else we got down here? Who's getting fun? Tough running. This is the running back debtor zone. Not feeling fantastic here. Who do we got? Polk.
You have okay, so we've got Daniels, Jahan Dotson. Should he be on the radar?
I think that's a pretty good. I like that. I think that this is going to be. I don't think that there's going to be a pass catcher on this team that's going to average less than like 12 yards per catch. So for Dotson, I like Dotson to kind of have a bounce back year here. This range, it's a low ceiling range for a lot of these guys. I think he has a high ceiling, so I like that.
Yeah, there's a couple of running backs I wouldn't mind picking, maybe even Zeke, since we've got Dak, and that might be the only way we can correlate him. But let's go ahead and wrap in our 6th wide receiver. Since we did go RB in that first round, I do like having a nice, strong core, 6 picks in through 11 rounds.
Looking hot. Looking real hot right now. I'm really loving this team.
I'm telling you, championship team, we've got it right here today. You're watching it.
It felt good. I don't know if is there a way to I have this Aurora frame right here that my wife got me, and when we win, I might just have this stream. I might have this stream just playing 24/7 on it.
Glad I wasn't the only one thinking that.
It's got to be. Dude, I'm tired of seeing pictures of our wedding and our anniversary and birthdays. I want something that matters.
Exactly. I look at my wife every single day. Give me something new. Let's mix it up a little bit.
Yeah.
If she's logged on, I'm going to get an earful after.
Love you, babe. Oh, God. That's fun. So Zeke goes, Myers, Josh Downs. What are your Josh Downs vibes? Let's pick the Colts brain a little bit more here because we have to start. This is July. We have to start. Everyone else is going to come in and start talking about your Olaves, your Londons, your Adams. They're going to pick those guys apart. We got to be breaking down the Josh Downses of the world.
So that's the hard thing for me. I love the talent. I absolutely love the talent of Josh Downs, but I don't think he's going to be any more than a role player.
Yeah.
A wide receiver 3 or 4, you can plug him in on Bipocalypse. Injuries get wild. But if I'm choosing between him or AD Mitchell, I'm taking AD Mitchell. I think he has the higher ceiling to give you an outlier stat, which would be touchdowns most likely. AD Mitchell can bring in 8 touchdowns. Josh Downs, I see him as like a 4 to 7, 4 to 6 touchdown kind of guy.
Yeah, I think that like the Josh Downs kind of represents what this offense, and I know he's a rookie, don't get me wrong, but has been. And I think that Mitchell represents what they want it to be. And I think that they're finally going to have the tools to kind of unlock that intermediate down the field. Even getting over the middle. I mean, like Gardner Minshew, throw over the middle every now and then. My God, come on. You cannot have these vibes and just not be too afraid to throw over the middle. So we'll have a lot of fun with them. I'm looking forward to this team, man. I think that they're a dark horse to make the playoffs.
I won't jump in on that just because that's where the fandom comes in. The bias, I don't want to be jinxing shit. But Downs, if anything, if there's anything to be excited about him for, it's for Anthony Richardson. You're now giving him 3 pretty good weapons. I'll keep the compliments to pretty good. I see him as a little better than that, but I think it's a great receiving trio as well as the forest that we grow at our tight end position. 6'5" and higher is all we do, and that's fun with me.
I like it. You can see what they respect, and they respect redwoods and redwoods only. These guys are just big old dogs. I'm looking forward to see them suiting up because, if you look around at like the defenses in the division right now, they're not really terrifying. Like Houston is coached up. Now, obviously, they've got Will Anderson, who's a beast, but otherwise, I mean, they're capable. What I'm really trying to say is that the defenses in this division are capable of being manhandled. And I think that that's something you guys are building up and gearing up to do better than any of the other 3 teams.
I hope so. That's, again, I don't like to dig too deep. Just the fandom bias. You got to check yourself with other people's opinions there. But
oh man, I'm out here calling Bucky Irving RB1. So I'm so knee deep in my fandom right now that I can't even breathe. But it's fun. That's what I live for.
I mean, how do you take targets away from Rachaad White? It's so hard right now. I was kind of doing rankings for him, and it's hard not to put him up. But here we go on the clock. Nice. I'd love to grab Hunter Henry, I think, in this, just because we do have George Kittle.
A fellow Hunter Henry fan, yes.
I am. And if anything, he screams consistency in the deep tight end 2 range, something that you don't get from George Kittle.
I mean, I think that he's been the most consistent player over what has been the most inconsistent offense. And I don't think they drafted anybody or signed anybody to challenge that throne. They got a bunch of guys that I think can raise like the baseline level up, but I think he's probably going to be the biggest beneficiary of consistent quarterback play.
I'd agree there. I'm excited there. Kind of looking running back or wide receiver. Maybe like running back. We're only like 2.
I think a little Marshawn Lloyd.
Okay, cool. Yep. I was looking at either there or I keep getting excited about Ty Chandler, but
I like Ty Chandler too. Don't you're not going to twist my arm here. I think both of those guys that we're talking about are going to be 1Bs to maybe 1Cs to the head running backs 1A. I mean, that's going to be you look at the Vikings are interesting because last year they obviously split it up a bunch of different ways, but they didn't really have anybody to give hefty carries to until Ty Chandler emerged. And then the same thing with the Packers. There was not one season they were both healthy that Aaron Jones out carried AJ Dillon by more than 30 carries. Like that is not a large number. Like they are. Yeah. They have a plan there.
Yeah, really. Say I don't hate the running backs in this range. Not necessarily that they're good. It's just there's clear paths, and that's what you're seeing with these guys.
Yeah, I think a lot of them could probably be. We're talking about potential non-factors here, and that sucks. Or at least I can see how they would be a non-factor, whether it's their own talent, whether it's the coaching decisions, whether it's bad scheme fit, all kinds of stuff. But this is you start to see some kneecapping going on.
Yeah, like Jalen Wright's a player that I think of that. Like he's got all the speed. They spent decent capital on him. But at the end of the day, if Mostert and Achane are healthy, he's not going to see the damn field. Like, there's
No.
no reason for him to when you have those other two guys. So I've got a good exposure to him, but like you said, he could just be a dead spot on my roster.
He absolutely could. And they are, man, they're like, they really did sign guys that are going to be, I don't want to say a thing, but you look at the upside of Jonnu Smith, you look at the upside of OBJ as a fourth option in the passing game, as opposed to maybe the first or second option without Andrews in Baltimore.
Flowers.
I mean, like, yeah, thank you, Flowers. So, I just think that like they are gearing up to be able to hit you 5 to 6 different ways during any single game. And I don't think the running back 3 is going to be the guy who benefits the most there.
Yeah, I 100% agree. So Mike Evans, essentially a career year last year for your Buccaneers. And then we've got Chris Godwin, who's quietly been in the shadows, not been elite for the last several years. But I'm hearing he's going back in the slot. And when I hear that, the sweatpants get a little movement, So where are we from the homer here? Is there a reason to get excited?
First of all, the second you put on sweatpants, you're hoping for movement. That's why we all wear them. So I get that off the rip. I feel Godwin to me feels kind of like last year's Mike Evans, to where he's going in that 7th-ish round. The coaching staff is going to put him back into an opportunity to succeed. He really was just, the knee injury kind of got him a little bit last year. He still played every game, but he wasn't really operating at maximum capacity. I think that they're going to look at this team, and their offseason priority was, we liked what we did last year. Let's not change anything. Let's just maybe shuffle a guy around or two in a new spot. And they're bringing in a great coordinator to do that. They're bringing in Liam Cohen from Kentucky, where he got to coach with Mark Stoops, who has been one of the best offensive minds in college football over the last decade. But then he actually spent time with Baker Mayfield with the Rams the previous year. Baker was only there for 4 or 5 games, but that means that Baker's already going to be up to date with the terminology, with the scheme, with the verbiage, everything that goes into a learning curve for a new offense. So I just think that, there's going to be – Evans will be who he is, only we'll see a baseline raise from Godwin.
So we got 4 seconds. I queued up Luke McCaffrey. Just again, we're hitting hard on the Washington.
Yeah.
We have all 3 of them now. I just realized.
Sorry, I'm over here waxing poetic like an asshole, and we're on the clock.
I was locked in. I was like, oh shit, focus. But yeah, 19 seconds. Maybe another running back, possibly. We got 3, or do we go wide receiver again?
I like one of these running backs. I like a little Elijah Mitchell. I like a little J.K. Dobbins. I like a little Herbert. Maybe lock in that wide receiver role with that running back role with Mitchell.
I don't hate that, since we have Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, only because it's kind of the linchpin of our team. So would feel pretty good about just having the 49ers running back room.
Yeah, I'd agree. I'm not usually a huge fan of going, in best ball, why go handcuff? If your big pieces fall, you're usually fucked. But in this sense, I think that Elijah Mitchell he'd rotate into CMC light, and we'd see some huge spikes.
Exactly. He is one of, if not the most, he's probably the A1 handcuff in the league, I would imagine, just in regards to what that replaceability can look like, and as opposed to if Aaron Jones went down, like Ty Chandler's, his stock goes up, but it doesn't skyrocket.
Yeah. So far, we're going to be coming back with 3 last picks, 16, 17, and 18. We've got Jaden Daniels and Dak Prescott. So the quarterback room's locked up. I didn't even look at the buys, so I'm glad that just worked out for us.
Yeah, we got pretty – I started peeking at them a little bit, but I didn't see anything concerning, so we just let it ride.
Yeah, we got CMC, David Montgomery, Marshawn Lloyd at running back. And Elijah Mitchell there cleaning us up. Chris Olave, DK Cooper, Terry McLaurin.
That is such a damn good team.
I'm liking it.
Oh, I feel hot.
White is obsessed I can get pretty obsessed with my correlation pieces, trying to figure out, okay, how many teams deep can I go? Like, this one's also playing this one. And it makes it unfun sometimes. But as far as
that's the chess game, though. That's chess, baby. That's how things roll. That's what everyone else is doing in this draft, and they're going to lose to the Vibes team. Sorry, guys.
Right.
Sorry, fellas.
Hey, this is the key. This might be the key to unlock.
Let's see here. All right. So what are you feeling on this next rip around?
I I'm okay leaving tight end with what we have. Maybe grab one at the very last pick, but I'm okay with just the 2 tight end build.
Yeah.
So at this point, maybe one more running back, 2 wide receivers, or 1 running back, 1 wide receiver, 1 tight end.
I like it.
Where are the vibes on your end?
I feel 1 and 1 for each of those, I think, is a strong move. And then if we want to maybe pick up, like if there's somebody hot with the last pick at tight end, maybe, but I just feel like, we're in that.
Call me crazy.
You're not crazy. He's going to play.
He's at least the first 4 weeks. He's going to be awesome.
This is the guy that refuses to die, and good. He doesn't deserve to.
So I'm going to take it out of the queue, because if people pop in the stream and they see that queued up here, I don't want. We're going to lose them. We're going to lose them real quick. But that might be at play at the last pick of the draft. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I like that. So we're looking at maybe a little running back, wide receiver pairing here. So who do we have? Mims, Herbert, Tracy, Baker, Droshan, Pierce. Zay Jones is a funny one. I don't know. Like, I don't see why he might not be the wide receiver 2 there. Now, that does make him the pass catcher 3 behind McBride and Marvin Harrison Jr. But, I mean, this is a guy who's produced with quality quarterback play in his time. I think that's kind of a sneaky veteran play. Tolbert, Shark's funny too. That's kind of, if it's not the Ladd McConkey show there, is it just going to be wide receiver by committee? Probably. I don't think he's really proven that he can separate at this point in his career. Raymond, Bourne.
I might try and grab the running back here, just because it gets real ugly real quick.
Yep, I'm with that. What do you think about we've got some Deontay Foreman, I think, is a nice little plug. Roshan Johnson.
Yeah, I don't mind Roshan.
Tank Bigsy. Man, I wish that Mitchell injury happened like a month earlier than it did. Not that I wish it happened at all, but man. Dylan Laub. Ooh, these are some fun ones. Trey Sermon is a little maybe. I'm just playing to the audience here, though.
Yeah, I'm not sure. And CEH is hard for me to, like, he's the number 2 in Kansas City. Pacheco goes down. I'll be honest with you. I think I'm down for some CEH. I think that Pacheco's workload is going to decrease slightly, not a lot to bump him out of his value, but slightly. This is a team that traditionally values in the Mahomes there. Kareem Hunt has been the only guy that's really been a workhorse consistently. So I think they didn't re-sign McKinnon. I think that means we get a little CEH action, just a little bit. Just a little bit, not too much. You get sick, you get too much of that. I'm cool with Zay Jones here. I don't mind the third wide receiver. Jalen Tolbert would look nice as far as the correlation piece, but I just don't see that he has any sort of ceiling at all.
Yeah, I don't think. I think that Dak has kind of he's moved into this era where he really was a spreader arounder up until last season. He was and he was pretty good at that too. It's what made Cowboys pass catchers kind of infuriating. And then last year they just hyper focused in on Lamb, Ferguson, and the other guys were just kind of spot pieces. So I like that thought process.
Nice. We'll be last pick in the draft for our final pick. Yeah.
So what's our
582?
What's our tight end possibilities looking like? Is there anybody that's even worth it, or is this a write-off?
Okay, so where are you at on Colby Parkinson? We don't have Higbee for most of the season. He got paid a good amount of coin, but he's a blocker.
So it's really a tricky one because traditionally speaking, the McVay tree does not really produce a lot of tight ends. Really, Kirk Cousins and TJ Hawkinson have really been the only duo that have come out of that kind of tree consistently swinging, whether you're looking at Green Bay, you're looking at Cincinnati, you're looking at previous times in Tennessee. Like, it just really hasn't been a thing. So does that mean that it's only going to thrive if you have a tight end that can, produce? And I don't know if that's Parkinson. So it makes me want to shy away from that a little bit.
I have two, but the amount of tweets that say, "Hey, stupid, draft Parkinson," I'm like, maybe he's got a point. Maybe I am stupid, and it's hard to balance that shit.
And anybody that's saying, "Hey, stupid," in 2024 can fuck right off. Come on.
See my way out then.
You gotta tell people to get bent, pound sand, kick rocks, eat soup, all the good stuff.
As far as other tight ends, Greg Dulcich, I don't hate. I think he
Mhm.
should be second, maybe even third on the as far as the pass catchers go in Denver.
Sure.
I couldn't stay healthy last year, so there is that. Daniel Bellinger, I don't mind flirting with. If you're going with your last pick, like we saw some flashes of him in his rookie season before, the whole eye gouging thing.
I think that could be a fun one. Bellinger, scroll down a little more. I'm trying to think if there's anybody else that I haven't thought about. No.
Yeah, it gets ugly.
Hard pass. I would say if we're looking at tight end, I would feel good about any combination of Tucker Kraft, Dulcich, Ertz, or Bellinger.
All right. Let's throw them up here and see what else we've got sitting.
I know. Was it Kraft that got Kraft is dealing with an injury right now, right? And not Musgrave, if I'm not mistaken.
I get those two flips so fucking much. Like it kills me. I'm like, wait, which one's the starter again?
Yeah, and let's see here, because they really did lean on Kraft pretty well down the stretch. But I want to say that he's going to be missing. Yeah, here we go. No, Musgrave is on. No, that was last year. Come on, where's the? Bunch of bullshit right there. Okay, here we go.
Sorry, folks. I usually have an assistant that takes care of this for us. I know. I'm so unprepared.
I got you. No, it's my fault. Kraft tore his pectoral muscle during a bench pressing session on May 6th. So that means that it's probably going to be Musgrave running with most of the ones for the season. So maybe that's a no-go as far as one of these guys taking the reins. The Zach Ertz one is, man, I think that could be a fun. I think that's that's chasing upside right there.
And it's chasing the Commanders, which I never thought I'd be one to do. But
I mean, Trey McBride, so Ben Sinnott, right? A really fun receiving prospect. Same thing with Trey McBride, only McBride did not emerge from this offense until Ertz was hurt. And that includes 2022, late end of the season, and all of first half of 2023. So, he's the final boss for these athletic tight ends.
Yeah, and I think maybe I might flirt with a running back here, possibly. But
if you're thinking running back, go running back. I'm down for it. Go with your heart. This is your show. I like you to end with a flex on them.
Oh, I see. With 4 seconds, I'm gonna tilt until it's auto picks fucking Ertz. There it goes. Yep.
I think that's hot. We leaned into high passing volume, deep down the field, touchdowns, all the good stuff.
Well, that we wrapped up the draft with that last pick. So we've got Jaden Daniels, Dak Prescott at quarterback, CMC, Montgomery, Marshawn Lloyd, Elijah Mitchell, and CEH at running back. Wide receiver finishing off with Chris Olave, DK Metcalf, Amari Cooper, Terry McLaurin, Romeo Dobbs, Jahan Dotson, Luke McCaffrey, and Zay Jones. Tight end, we've got Kittle, Hunter Henry, and Zach Ertz. That looks like a winning team right there.
Awesome. That's an original build, baby. I'm telling you, nobody else is bringing the minds that we're bringing to this shit. That's going to be tried and true. I'm pumped. I mean, you get the credit because your name is on the underdog list, but just remember me. All right.
Oh, 100%. Hey, there's a huge amount of money coming to me from this win. So I got to give you at least 3, maybe 4% of it. You contributed here.
I can take that 3-4% and turn it into 6-7% with just a few dollars coming into the Patreon, ladies and gentlemen. Would make everybody money.
All right, I've got to see this team that went 7 straight wide receivers. Big Fish.
Yep.
What are we rocking here, man?
Big Fish ball hard. Let's see.
All right, Love, Rodgers, and Russell Wilson.
Okay. Swift, Brian Robinson, Zeke. Okay, took some other guys that I was looking at.
Then there's Chubb, though.
Yeah. Amon-Ra, Mike Evans, Diggs, Pickens, Rasheed, Watson, Hopkins. I mean,
he stopped at 7.
Yeah, he's got. He's done. He's got a lot of guys to feel good about. However, I think this is one of those teams that is less than the sum of its parts.
Yeah, I think so. You're looking for a lot of things here. Rashee Rice, you're hoping for no suspension. Christian Watson needs to fall into the end zone, 10-ish times. Stephon Diggs, I'm not a big fan of him this year unless he is the touchdown guy. If he walks
Yeah.
away with 8 to 12 touchdowns, I think that's where he's fantasy viable.
I think he's kind of going to be that Antonio Brown to Nico Collins and Tank Dell's Evans Godwin. He's got to squint a little bit, but they're all going to take away from each other in little ways. Some of them will have spike weeks, but I like the other two with their ADP.
Yeah, I agree with you there. Well, Chuck, I can't thank you enough for coming to hang out with us, helping me draft this draft, keep me from tilting my face off. Before we get out of here, you want to let the people know where they can find you?
Yes, I am the host of the This Guy Sucks podcast on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, and somehow LinkedIn. I don't know how that happened, but we're having fun. Summer's rolling on, killing it on Twitter, just absolutely making a fool of myself, and happy to always do it with you, man. Thank you for having me on.
Absolutely. If you're looking for more of me, I'm on Twitter at @toomuch_Brian, and then, of course, all over here on the Fantasy Football Advice Network. But until next time, we'll catch you all later.